offer private time and then. No problem.
But the way it's that rule, that's not their fault.
Where was I sitting? I'm sitting here. No, trying to figure out where I'm sitting.
Well, I'm sorry. I know I'm in, you're probably gone a lot of them.
Yeah, I know. I think Linda Bennett will be back. So I'll sit over here.
But I have to.
Don't say
I know, I tried to buy some stuff. Karen, I'm sorry, I got your phone message. I figured you were there.
yeah, we only have one more day, so if you want to just go to the they have to be like,
So I'm stalling for just a minute. Hang on.
All right. Good, very good.
Are you guys still mad at us? The pickleballers?
No, we're kind of getting used to the lineup.
I played tennis yesterday in the ninth grade.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother the pickleballers as much since I do both, but it definitely I got mixed up. I've been on the lines.
Yeah.
I know, we tried to keep it subtle.
Yeah.
It had to be a compromise. We didn't want to take one whole court and make it a pickleball court, and you guys would have to. It was hard. It was hard. You guys should have been in on the discussions, not just me.
Right.
Yeah, I apologize for that, but I had to just invite myself to participate because there weren't even consulting about what to do. For surviving. Yeah. Yeah, right. Oh, okay. All right.
With that money, not just the party, just the, because now we've got allocations for the
You have to be elected. All right, I will call the meeting of the board back into session. I apologize to one of our board members who didn't get the word about where the sandwiches are, so I apologize about that. I assume you got something to nibble on. Thank you, Ray. You got to eat with your wife, so that's compensation.
You want leftovers?
Everyone's offering you have to say it. First comment to make before we get back onto the schedule. We will place this report, not the one you have, but the report we received this morning, on the website. Thank you. I assume that's okay? Should be there next week. Next week? No? No, so when is it on? So when is it? We'll get it there as soon as possible. We have a staffing issue, but we'll post it in the lobby in the meantime. And I suppose if somebody really wanted it in the meantime, we could Xerox a copy. If you are desperate before it gets on the website, the office will, I'm sorry about this, Karen, but we'll take your request and we'll make a copy for you. All right?
Thank you.
Do we have a PDF?
Oh, could we do that?
They posted it,
No,
so.
if we put it on the black. What do you need to do?
If not a good file.
Are you talking about blasting it or putting it on the website?
No, we're gonna put it on the website.
None of it's gonna happen till Monday.
I understand, why can't we do an attachment or something on the email? Can we do that? Brian can help. We'll try and get it into an email next week.
Thank you.
All right. All right, let's back to the agenda. Sammy, the first
Where?
resolution. Top, second page.
We are not doing anything with the task force officially at this moment.
We just did.
Yeah, we're going to, we're starting a resolution, so.
Yes.
Okay.
Resolution 15081818, resolved that the PNC POA Board of Directors approve funds not to exceed $51,000 from the unbudgeted operating fund for architectural services for the Facilities Task Force Master Plan. Whereas the PMC POA Board of Directors has asked the Facilities Task Force to create a master plan that is a dynamic, long-term planning document that provides a conceptual layout to guide future growth and development. And whereas master planning is about making the connection between buildings, social settings, and their surrounding environment, and whereas the master planning is based on community input, surveys, planning initiatives, existing development, physical characteristics, and social and economic conditions, and therefore be it resolved that the PMC POA Board of Directors approve Resolution 15081818, funds not to exceed $51,000 from the unbudgeted operating fund for architectural services for the Facilities Task Force Master Plan, submitted by Director Martin.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Clarification for both the board and the audience. This is authorizing funding. It is not authorizing the contract. The contract is done in executive session. We are organizing a meeting with members of the task force and Mr. Pugh, who specifically is the one tasked with doing this work. And we will have a discussion with them about the extent, the breadth, etc. As I asked him this morning, this is the first piece of that, and we need to discuss with them future costs relative to what pieces of the plan we pursue. So all we're doing today is setting aside the funding for a potential contract that is yet to be approved. Is that clear to everybody?
Yes.
Discussion from the board. We have a motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Item 4, officer reports, chair's report.
I will be brief, given the time, and I think we're still on the same day. But the first thing, I want 2 comments relative to the recall election. You have all received the report. Just to reiterate for you, August 28th is the last day that anybody wishing to run during that election needs to have all their paperwork into the office, that's all completed, that's not just a request, that's all completed material. You may or may not be aware that the governing authority, if you will, for this process is, under state law, the Inspector of Election. We have continued discussions between our council and Inspector of Elections in putting this process together. One of the decisions we made that was different than the letter you received is that the three of us who are being proposed for recall is a slate vote, not individual votes. So you would be a single vote to recall the three of us, not three individual votes. Right? That was his decision last week, and Bob will reflect that. We should also let you know, or I should let you know, that in light of the continuing discussions as to the impact of Mavis Sterling on our cash position, we have requested council to prepare a discussion and draft document for the board as to the limitations or whatever they are under Mavis Sterling versus the use of excess cash. So that will occur, and when we have that report, I will make sure council produces a document that can be distributed to the members. With that, I conclude my report.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Griffin.
Well, no, when there's public comment, we can do it, but this is, we have to stick to the agenda. So make a note and bring it up when we're there. Go ahead.
I have good morning, but now it's really good afternoon, everyone. I will start with letting the members know we will be putting wood out on the corner of Simons and Mill Petrera for people to take for the winter on the evening of September 7th, and it can be picked up on September 8th. So that September 8th is a Saturday. If all the wood is taken, we will have a second day in the near future for members to have more wood.
These are rounds, right?
They're round, so I think the last time people brought saws and cut them up so they could go into their trucks or vehicles. You can't lift them, they're just really heavy. We have been slowly lowering the water in Firms Lake to get ready for dredging late October or early November. But we are leaving enough water in the lake in an event of a fire so the buckets from the helicopter can dip without a problem. We will be announcing a fishing derby in the near future for everyone to come and catch fish, which will be put into large containers of water and hauled and released in the upper lake. And if you come for the fishing derby, remember it's barbless hooks. If you see staff fishing, and they're really working, they're going to take their chairs out there and start fishing and catching the fish. It's going to be a big project. We have to remove the fish and move them to the upper lake, and then when we're done dredging, we've got to move them from the upper lake back to Firms Lake. So it's going to be a process. So anyway, so that's, I wanted you to know that our guys out there that are fishing are really working. We are now serving dinners downstairs with the hope of moving it back to the lounge in the future. Nobody likes eating downstairs. I just want everyone to know that. Many complaints. And I don't like it either. Hamburgers are back on Friday nights, making a lot of members happy. The Condor Cafe is moving in the right direction. We have a manager that we really like, and he's doing a great job. And if you eat here on Friday or Saturday nights, you will have the opportunity to meet our new manager. His name is John Martin. He is a huge asset to the restaurant and to the association. We will start having dinner specials soon, so watch the email blast for that. There was a motion made last month to bring an A2 form for a drainage system on hole 4 to replace the French drain with an underground drain pipe. When maintenance has time, we're going to get bids for that job because we'll have to bid it out. The fence is up, and it looks very nice along the golf course. It's on the Mill Potrero side, and we've had quite a few compliments on the fence. Our local clinic is in need of help. The community has been so kind to do GoFundMe support, but this is only a short-term fix. On September 8th at 11 a.m. at the gazebo, there will be a meeting with clinic staff to reach out to the community. What they're asking for is pro bono help. They need an attorney, a CPA, a medical biller, and a grant writer. When they set their business up, they did it as a for-profit, but they're a rural clinic, and they fall under the nonprofit guidelines, but they're unable to afford to do that themselves, so they need some help with that. On the lighter side, tonight is the second to last concert on the Green, and it starts at 4:30. Our very own talented member, Tony Harmon, will be playing with Incendio and the PNC Guitar Society. And if some of you don't know what Guitar Society is, these are our famous guitar players up here that play all over the world that actually live right here. Tony is a talented, Tony is a classical guitarist who has performed on numerous television shows and special events. He composed and performed the musical soundtrack for ABC Television's William Randolph Hearst story, and has performed for President Reagan and Mrs. Reagan. Dinner will be cooked by Falcon's Nest. After the concert, come inside and enjoy the band Boys Night Out and have fun dancing and socializing with the locals. Also going on tonight at 8 p.m. at the basketball court is a star party. Director Skelly and others will bring their telescopes, and there will be knowledgeable people to ask questions about the stars, and maybe they'll let you look through the telescopes. This is another one of those fun events with our own local talented members who have a lot of knowledge to share. I'm sorry, it's a long report. We have Brendan Coyle on August 24th playing Friday Night Acoustic. And Brendan is one of our own local people also. He grew up in Pine Mountain Club, and so we welcome him when he shares his musical talents. So let's all come out and support him. If you want dinner, get it to go and come upstairs to listen to Brenda's music. On Wednesday, August 29th at 6 p.m., there will be a town hall meeting to meet Supervisor Scribner and Sergeant Kimmel, who is stationed at the Fraser Park substation. Also, Vicki Kraft will give a short presentation about wildlife. Please come out and meet our local government, and let's keep them engaged in a good way. On September 7th through 9th is a celebration of songwriting with a concert on September 8th. The festival is a gathering of songwriters to learn, collaborate, and perform in Pine Mountain Club. This charity event will feature workshops and panel discussion from world-class songwriters and producers, with a special benefit concert taking place on Saturday night. Events take place at Base Camp, Artworks Gallery, and the PMC Clubhouse. Full festival passes are $77 and $47 for Mountain Community residents. Concert tickets are $15 if purchased in advance at PMC or $20 at the door. All proceeds go to Aging in Place. And these songwriters, they have written for many, let's see, I'm trying to think of some of the people. There's a whole long list, like J-Lo, all those people. On September 15th from 6 to 9, there will be a fundraiser for the Mountain Communities Resource Center. The Resource Center helps many families on the mountain with food, propane services, clothing, so on. The only things they don't do is gas your car, and they don't pay your phone bill. So Mike Sullivan will be playing at that fundraiser. And Mike's music is featured on Virgin Airlines. He did the movie for Kung Fu Panda the 3, TV shows, The Young and the Restless, Steve Harvey Show, The Golf Channel, etc., and national commercials. For over 10 years, Mike has given back by performing for free at children's hospitals and special needs centers every month in LA via the Art of Concealing. Summer camps have come to an end with the exception of the Star Party tonight, and that's open to everyone. School is back in session and summer is coming to an end soon. The pool will remain open until we have 3 nights in a row of 32-degree weather. The golf shop will be changing their hours in November when we change the time. DC office recap for July. Under construction projects, we had approval for 2 single-family residents and 1 retaining wall. Under EC officer approvals of minor projects with no KC permit needed, we have 4 fence approvals, 5 paint reroofs, 3 cottage industry approvals, 10 yard sales permits, and 35 escrow property instructions. Under EC letter written, for the first notice, we have 15 letters and 7 complied on first notice. We had 9 second notice warnings with 9 complied after the second notice warnings. We had 3 final notices, warnings with 1 complied. 2 citations to the board and 6 miscellaneous letters and 2 knapweed letters. The PMC patrol recap, we had 59 enforcements, which were 27 animal control, 2 citations, and 30 miscellaneous calls. We had 63 public assists with 1 conflict, 10 general complaints, 1 welfare check, and 51 miscellaneous calls. We had 1 report, 2 traffic incidents, and 25 wildlife incidents. This concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Treasurer's report, Mr. Lewis.
I've been on the job for a month now. I've got some bad news. I'm not going to read the treasurer's report. I'm not going to give you all these numbers that you'll find on the back of your agendas and available at the office. And so I really apologize for not sharing that information with you. If you have any questions, let me know. The one thing that I did want to talk about that the chair recognized too is that one of the concerns that I have as the treasurer was the, whatever you may call it, carryover money. And upon my recommendation, we are checking with legal to see what we can do with that money. And so rest assured, it's not going anywhere, and we'll account for it and do the proper thing. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Item 6, members' open forum. This 25-minute open forum is for members to present their comments. Oh, sorry. Item 5, committee reports. Acknowledge receipt of committee minute records. Acknowledge receipt of committee approved committee minutes. Budget and Finance, July 2018. Environmental Control, August 2018. Governing Documents, June 2018. Greens and Grounds, August 2018. Recreation, July 2018.
Stop there. May I have a motion to accept the committee report?
So moved.
Second. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Approve Environmental Control Committee project recommendations, 3. Approve Cottage Industry Permit, 2.
May I have a motion to accept those 2?
So moved.
Second. Discussion from the board?
Is it appropriate to bring up the concept of expanding the definition of a cottage industry?
Not, I would think not yet.
Okay.
Any further discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Item 6, members open forum. This 25-minute open forum is for members to present their comments.
Don't everybody rush. We just have to finish before the concert of the league begins.
We're almost fit of the two.
Can you wait for me to tell you what you can do and can't do?
Put it back there.
You want me to finish this or just let them go?
No, you need to finish.
Members wishing to be recognized should step to the microphone, address the board chair, and state name, track, and lot number. The board may extend the time limit for this forum to allow additional members to speak or grant additional time to a speaker when appropriate. Members may present questions to the board. If the question cannot be readily answered, it may be presented in writing or emailed to the recording secretary, and the question will be responded to within 15 calendar days upon receipt. In addition to the question, the member's name, tract, and lot number, and telephone and/or email contact information must be included. Members may not yield time to other speakers. With the consideration of other speakers and a 25-minute time limit, members are requested to speak to the board only once during members' open forum. Members will refrain from being argumentative and making derogatory or personal remarks or gestures, or being long-winded.
With that comment, feel free.
My name is Byron Frisk, 3566-215
and that Britt Snyder North shall stay underneath.
Okay.
I wholeheartedly approve of what the Clubhouse Task Force is working toward. I sincerely hope that the recall election results in a resounding defeat, and that the sponsors will not be able to derail the very reasonable recommendations of the Clubhouse Task Force.
My name is Ray Oya, 3508657. My next door neighbor rents their home by the day. They rent through Airbnb, VRBO, and a website for film production locations. Today I'm here to discuss rentals to the film businesses and not to the individuals, although I'm not really a fan of daily rentals either, to individuals. My neighbor has rented to film productions a number of times, and here are some of my experiences. During one production, it appeared to be a soft porn film being produced, and because in the front yard there was semi-nudity, I ended up talking to them, and they shut part of that down, and they then moved inside, and from the sounds that I was hearing during the evening, it may have not been limited to soft porn.
We don't need to be too graphic.
Okay. During another production, items were taken from my property, which I retrieved, but they took some outside tools and a hose and were using it for their production. So I had to go over there and get my property back. During another, they went down the trail in front of my house, the trail leads right off of Banff and goes down to Freeman. And they set up a campground scene. And I discovered this when I saw smoke rising from the forest. So I went down to see what was going on, and they had a live campfire for their scene. So I called patrol. This one was probably 3 years ago. I called patrol. They came up. We discussed whether to call the fire department. They did douse the fire, but only because I was there to see it, because there's not many properties up there, and I witnessed it right away. 2 weeks ago, a neighbor rented to another film production, and PMC sold a permit to them, which I consider an endorsement. And the terms of the contract allow 12 individuals on the property, indoor-only shooting, and production time from 10 in the morning till 9 at night. The reality is there were generally 30 people on the property, sometimes as many as 40. They were shooting outdoor also, and at night they were running a generator to power the lights, and the whole property was lit up like a stadium, and so was my house and the inside of my house. And the production went on until 11:45. So, oh, and by the way, they spilled over onto the neighbor's property on the other side, where they had trucks, equipment, and the generator operating, and I'm pretty certain they did not have an agreement with that neighbor. The second night, I called patrol just after 9 o'clock. Patrol officer arrived at about 10 p.m., had a discussion with the production, and they asked for 20 more minutes, and the patrol officer allowed that, which would take them to 10:20. I spoke to the patrol officer right after that, and I was assured that he'd come up in 30 minutes and check. He never returned. The production again went on until 11:45. And I called the sheriff very late in the evening, and they don't know the terms of the contract, and the only thing they would respond to is a noise complaint. So, and that was close. I was in dialogue, not friendly dialogue, with the production, and that was close to the time when it looked like they were about to wrap up, so I didn't have the sheriff come up. And the noise at that time there's lots of noise, I couldn't sleep, but it was not to the level where I think the sheriff would shut them down based on noise. So I got no satisfaction, I had no recourse. I was basically left to battle the production on my own. It was me against 40 people. I'm the homeowner. they are not. And it was me against them, and there were some unpleasant words exchanged. Every time my neighbor rents to a film production company, my life in Pine Mountain is disrupted. There's obviously excessive noise, there's the lights at night, there's usually been some form of trespass, not always my property, but other properties in the area. There's generator noise, there's exhaust from the generator which filled my house, and there's car exhaust from many vehicles running up and down, excessive traffic on the street, and many vehicles parked on the street, including large trucks. My neighbor makes money, including the premium he charges for film production. PMC makes money, and I suffer for free. So I have two questions. My first question is, why have a contract with specific terms if the terms are unenforceable, apparently unenforceable? There appeared to be no mechanism where the production would be shut down. Patrol was not ready to do that. I don't know if they have the power, but what is the point of having a contract with terms if the terms are not enforced? Patrol knew that the production was required to end at 9, be inside, be limited to 12 people. Yeah, as I said, none of those terms were enforced. My second question is, why does PMC endorse the operation of a large-scale business in a residential neighborhood and without any review or comment from affected neighbors?
All right, two comments. Three. The patrol does have the authority to enforce the contract, so that's just unacceptable, and we will pursue that. Secondly, you do have the right to a member-to-member complaint, which brings it before the board for a hearing. And I would urge you to do that, because you are perfectly within your rights to do so. The third comment is you are not alone. We have a growing, PMC has a growing number of people who use their properties for B&Bs. This is something that is not spoken to at all within our rules and regulations. It's something the board thinks we've got to speak to. And we are in the process of obtaining legal representation about what we can and cannot do. So it's very much on our list. It's a concern we have, and you are not alone. More to come.
That's very encouraging. I'm glad to hear that. I do a little bit of research, just looking at what, generally what's possible, and there are homeowners associations who have prohibited renting to film production companies, and even prohibited daily rentals.
Yes, and the issue about daily rentals, one of our problems is even finding out who is doing B&B rentals as members.
I can help out.
I think we've got the first name on the list.
Would you share your research with us?
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
can give it to Karen's office at the office.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're in the middle of that, and we absolutely agree with you.